What is up, guys? Harley back here with another video, and today this is your weekly tip for April 8th, 2013. Now, this week's tip, this is going to be like a topic, I guess, that is a very big problem in today's society, and that is depression. Now, as humans, we have the right to have feelings. You know, we could be sad, we could be mad, we could be happy. It just depends on what is going on, what situation we are in. Now I'm going to talk about two different types of depression. I'm just going to talk about simple depression, or like basic depression, and chronic depression. So, simple depression is where somebody, for instance, is getting picked on by a bully. For instance, I've got acne all over my face. I get constantly picked on at school about it, like, oh, your pepperoni face. But I don't really care about it. And I'm going to talk about how I deal with it, how you guys can deal with it. But someone who's not, doesn't know who to stand up to bullies, someone who's small and pathetic, I guess you could say. Not saying that anybody is pathetic, but just giving an example. They might, what was I trying to say? They might become really depressed, and they don't really know how to change themselves if they want to. You know, they think that they're stuck with that problem, you know. Now, I do know there are some people who are, like, for instance, can be depressed because they have cancer. Now, that is something to be depressed about, but if I had cancer, I would live the rest of my life to the best of my ability, for whatever I can, you know, and I'll try to get all the help I can so that I can continue to live. So, yeah, and, you know, people get bullied a lot, you know, which, you know, puts depression on people. You know, they think they are pretty much outcasts of the world, that nobody likes them, they they don't deserve to be on this planet. And that can sometimes lead to suicide, where they either attempt to commit suicide or they actually do commit suicide. And I was actually watching something on the news this morning, well, not on the news, but it was a commercial, and it said that, like, every half hour a teenager dies by committing suicide because of verbal bullying. And that is the most common way of bullying. And there still is bullying that is physical, but it's not more prevalent. The more prevalent one is, of course, cyberbullying and verbal bullying. So, and this can also go like, oh, you're so weak, you can't punch anything, you know, or, you can't get a girlfriend because you're stupid, or you're ugly, you know. Well, I don't consider myself fat. I'm husky, I'm fluffy, I am, like, I'm 174 pounds for a 13-year-old guy. So, you know, but people, you know, pick on me about that. I don't care. I mean, it means I'm bigger than you, that means I can charge you better, you know, and I'm probably gonna kick her butt. So, yeah, don't mess with me. But, you know, the ways I deal with bullying, and the way I don't get depressed. Now, I have been depressed before, but I don't really think it was really depression. I think it was just, you know, like a type of sadness or whatever, like deep sadness. But the way I deal with it is I just kind of, you know, take a minute to analyze the situation, think it over, you know, while I'm, like, playing Black Ops 2 or Halo or Minecraft or whatever. You know, I just kind of think about it, and I'm thinking, okay, well, what are the good outcomes of this? What are the bad outcomes? What can I do to solve it? And is there any way I can, you know, make myself feel better? Because, you know, if I don't want to be fat, then I would have a better diet and exercise. If I didn't want to be stupid, I would study in class, you know, pay attention. Actually try to get my grades up so I'm not having C's and D's and having at least A's and B's, you know. If you don't like how you are, change yourself, okay? If you're not comfortable with it, don't sit around and moan and cry. Change yourself. I mean, anybody can do it. Now, I know there's some people out there who are disabled and they can't really do this type of stuff, because, well, some people might not be able to walk, for instance, you know. So they can't really lose weight by running. But there are other ways, you know. So yeah. Now the next topic, and the way I deal with all that is I just, you know, I don't really okay, people have depressed me a lot. You know, I was really one of the depressed kids last year because, you know, everybody picked on me a lot. And that was probably because I had long hair, you know, but, you know, I got my hair cut. Nobody picks on me to look like a girl anymore, you know. But I don't really care anymore because now I want my long hair back because I think I look pretty cool with it. So, alright, so that's pretty much that topic. Next topic is chronic depression. Now, this is really prevalent in most middle-aged people, where, or like middle-aged, like from the 40s to at least the 70s-year-old age version, or not version, variety, range, I guess you could say. And it could be something that happened in their childhood that leads them, that is popping up into their present, that's causing them to be depressed. And what I think is going on with that is they don't know how to handle or fix the situation. They're scared. It's kind of like a change, you know. It's really, because a lot of people are scared of change. There's some things I'm scared of change, like as far as moving, you know, I freak out, especially when I gotta ride another bus. You know, I'm scared. I don't know what bus to ride. I don't know what time I gotta be out. Get to settle on the bus, you know. And when I switch schools, you know, I gotta figure out what this and that and that and this and this, you know. So, yeah, but let me give you guys an example. And during the Civil Rights era, of course, you know, you got black people being discriminated, and I know there were Mexicans and Chinese who were being discriminated too, but it was largely based on black people who were being discriminated. And in Birmingham, Alabama, there is this little girl named Carolyn McKinstry who went to 16th Street Baptist Church, and in 1963, her church was bombed by KKK. And 4 of her best friends died. And years later, when she's in her 40s, and she was like, well, actually, not really in the 40s, but during her college years and during, like, the early 70s, she was really, really depressed. She just couldn't get over the fact that she lost her 4 best friends. And this led her down to a path of drinking, you know, and that is how a lot of people, which I know it is wrong, it is wrong to use a depressant to fight depression. Smoking, drugs, and alcohol are all depressants. And if you're depressed, why would you use them? I mean, yes, it numbs the pain, but it's going to make you hurt more later. So, a little bit of a mini rant. But anyways, she didn't know how to deal with it, and she became a drunk. And then one day, she lived on a busy highway. Her children were playing out, and they almost got hit by a bus. And she was kind of drinking, dozing off, or whatever. And then she hears a loud banging at her back door, and her neighbor's like, "Oh, you're a bad parent because you let your kids play out in the road. You could at least watch them." And she promised that day that she would, you know, quit drinking, and then she eventually got fixed, you know. But then one of the KKK members who bombed her church, she had to go against trial with him, and that hurt her even more. But in the end, it worked out, and she became happier. So, if you are fighting depression, what I would do is I would sit down and think about what's going on. Why am I depressed? At least talk to a therapist, because they are here to dig down into your brain, pretty much, brain pickers, and figure out what is going on. So, yeah, guys, that is pretty much my, what am I trying to say? I don't know. The weekly tip for this week, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it helped you if you were depressed. If you have any questions at all, just ask me. You can comment below. If you don't want to comment, you can just send me a private message. I will reply to you guys. I will always get your messages because I have my YouTube linked to both my Yahoo and my Gmail account. So if I don't see it in my PM box, I will see it in my Gmail box. So, anyways, guys, that is it for this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope it guys helped you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.